Hello, Divine Sunshiners. Stay uplifted, stay motivated, stay ascended. Namaste, Namago. Hello, this is Divine Sunshine coming to you with a channeled message. I was watching Paranormal Priestess, and one statement she said jumped right off the page for me, which was that she stated that a lot of us, even the twin flame, and I admit that I'm guilty as well too, she said that we're not talking about the sacredness of the relationship between, that's why I call it divine lover, the ultimate lover, or anything like the kids say, zero, no highest. So you can understand that there's a difference. This is another higher stage that we're talking about. A lot of times when we are talk about this twin flame of our counterparts, we still have a tendency to compare it to, like my grandmother says, when you know cornbread, that's all you know. Until somebody introduced homemade yeast rolls, then you have an understanding as to, hey, it's something else out there. Right now, with us in the 3D sense paradigm, we got to treat ourselves as if we're like an old dog learning new tricks. And a lot of the terminology, the ideology, the understanding of the concept of when it comes to love, we understand that there's different levels to it. Now, the levels that we are familiarized with is just, that love, that lustful love, or that friendship, a love between a mother and father. A mother and father, right? Them together, mother and their children, father, the paternal love, those things, friends, those things, besties. It's all different kind of levels. And then, like when we think about when we're talking about a mate, you got, one of them, we've broken down to friends with benefits. I mean, hey, we hook up. If I'm horny and I feel like I want a booty call, we hook up. We know, hey, it ain't no type of connection there. Then you got the platonic, we're together, we're friends. Or you call it, some of them call it your work husband. We got a different kind of understanding about each other, even at work. That I see somebody say, what's the most romantic on Facebook? One of my friends said, what's the romantic thing that your work husband had did for you? Or the nicest thing they did. That's another step up of a dynamic of two people in a relationship. That's two. And then you got from that point on, and then you've got, again, we're together, again, open relationships, open, we going together, but we just seeing, we ain't getting anchored down. It ain't that serious yet. And then again, you got the ones that's married. That's another layer of it. And then you got what's called, again, the soulmates. That's what, and using soulmates is about higher. Like the kids say, that's zero, no higher. New to the scene is divine counterparts, or divine masculine, or divine twin. And we, a lot of, just to be honest with you, we're just bouncing around. Nobody really understands the true dynamics of it. All of we know is that it says it's love supreme. That is, they just said that it's just love supreme is involved in this. This is like the supreme love that you can have. Now, if we are coming from that, and I broke it down to you, the different layers of it, and this is where we are, doesn't it mean that this type of love deserves for you to handle it in a manner that is totally different than all the little levels of layers that I showed you earlier? That means it's no comparison to it. This stuff is like stellar, intergalactic, on a whole, thank you, a whole different another level things. So that means you cannot use the same tools or the same resources in order that you do on the regular whatever level I told you, friends on benefits, platonic, mom and dad, but parental love, that's God's love. That's the whole thing. Hold on, I didn't jump the gun there. Platonic love, all that stuff. Soulmate love, okay? That is right here. Still, this is the highest there. We're talking about that love, like I've almost Freudian slip that sources push me to, and it's like, get to the point, which is that agape love, that love that comes straight from God. Okay, this is a sacred love. We cannot treat it, like she has stated, as if we are thinking that, hey, it's going to be just like a soulmate. When I first came out with this channel, I used to, and I see I got to go back and revisit it since Sources brought it through her. Let me go back and double back on this again. I used to have a running joke that's saying, again, when you have it, you're thinking about it, it's going to be like Fabio, and they're going to jump off the horse, and he's going to come with this long flowing hair, and he's gonna jump off and swoop you off, and you know, and then it's happily ever after that. Now that type of love that you're talking about and you're looking for, that's what you'll find in a soulmate. There's not going to be any speed bumps or any kind of things that's going along. Of course, it's the regular rigmarole of things. We don't get along, sometimes we don't speak the same love language, things of that nature. But we're talking about you getting to the point that when you talk about this divine love, there, in order for you to really get to the point that, hey, we can't house or hold any other energy but us. It's just the two of us. That's it. Things have got to fall apart. The way you thinking has got to fall apart, because you got to be able to have enough stuff to sustain you. And I think after I had gotten that, I know David had used it, and it had gotten to a point that it was kind of like cliche-ish. And I'll be guilty of saying that, bringing the person to their sacred self, being in sacred, you know, again, the distorted person. I got that. And again, and that goes back to why I said when we have those lessons, or what you all call the karma lessons like that, it has to bring us out of our own distortion. Understanding that, bringing us to that sacredness that we have within ourselves. If there's any part of distortion that is in us, it's not going to be able to uphold the relationship. Now, I still kind of, I don't know, I'm kind of iffy, and I'll be honest with you. I don't know about the 80-20 rule, but I still feel that it is, because there's still going to be a point in there that you have got to be each other's teacher, and you all got to learn. Number one, in a relationship, we're still human beings and having the spirit. We're still spiritual beings having a human experience. With that human stuff, we still going to have to learn our person. Rather, we have met them from years ago, and then now they're coming back to us. We've got to learn who is this person, because see, they didn't been through their little stuff and things like that has helped to make them brand new. Like I told David in a conversation one time, I see them like a blacksmith. They keep on saying, like, we had to mold you, we had to hit down like that steel, like make it hot until it was able to kind of break it down, and they could be able to form it in the way that it needs to go. Yes, you were hard as steel, you were solid as a rock. As who is that? I forgot. Lord have mercy, I can see him. Oh Lord, I can see him too. Oh my God, it's not Peaches, it's Herb. Lord have mercy, I can see him. Anyway, so those two again, we got to understand that, oh, they bringing it to me and then it went away. Okay, y'all come back and you tell me. Ashford and Simpson, thank you. They said, I'm gonna bring it to you. He had to bring it to me, her husband. So yeah, so my thing is that when you get to that point, you solid as a rock, because over lifetimes and periods you had got yourself built to that part. It had been still, it had cooled off. That's how you are. And spirit's like, not so quick, we're not finished with you. You're like, you ain't finished with me, this thing hard. Like you were hitting it, saying, this ain't, I don't think this going anywhere. I think we pretty finished, because I can't move this. You know, that little hard steel thing. I can't move this. This is it. I ain't going to use my phone because I don't want to break it. But I'm thinking that it's like, I think that's kind of quite it. Well, it would. I could do it like that. I think this kind of it. Ain't no flexing and bending this little piece to nothing else from this ear, because this is a done deal. It's steel on this piece. Spirit said, nah, not so quick. That's why they add the fire on to you, to make you go a certain way. So we have to understand that if they feel that they have to do that, that is why, again, and she used my same thing, and I will share it in the community tab too as well, the link to it, because that's easier for me. So I'm not going to make no promises. I'm going to put it below, because I don't follow through on it. So I'm not even going to start lying to you, but I will put it in the community tab where it's easier for me. understanding this, that she was saying again, I told you, and she used the same analogy about, I think it was cookies or some kind of baking thing. I call it the cake. You don't want your person until they're ready, especially if you talk about this sacredness. You don't want them coming back to you like the way they were before, with those still, I call it carnalities, if you want to put it like in religion, saying the ways of the world or the 3D-ishness. You bringing that to the table. You don't want that. When we come into sacred union, that means that's it. That's why I always say again, thank you, that when we're talking about this sacred union stuff, this is really what, again, let no man come between us, let no man put asunder. This is him. Again, this is two of us coming back together as one. Now, I'm going to share also her thing, because she's bringing a point that she's saying the DM states that they are ready. I've stated that. I had people leave the channel, and that's God bless you about that, because I said about being a DM advocate, and they are. It does not matter about how it's looking on the surface. That's all illusion. Inside of them, she said it, and I've seen several readers say the same thing. They've come to the point to say, hey, this ain't working. And I told you all in one of my readings before, he said, just because I ain't moving don't mean that I want to be here. I just ain't found a solution to get out of this, because a lot of them want to get out of it in a nice, respectful way, and sometimes it's not. You might have to, again, like my old grandma says, she's real strong, she's giving the stuff. Her saying was, again, you got your hand in the lion's mouth. You got to be real careful the way you get it out. So some of them might have to say, hey, you might have to lose a finger, you might have to lose an arm, you might have to lose something in the process. At least you have your freedom as you are doing that. Yes, of course, we are like for you, again, if the lion, which is called the third party energies, or the karma, which is your lessons, have gotten you really in a vice grip, and you want to get out of this situation in the most clean and amicable way, that you don't create more hard lessons on there. But let's not get to the point that you're so scared that you don't make any kind of moves, like say, but I'm scared it might trigger me by doing this, and it's going to make me trigger more. Well, at this point, I always say that, hey, it's your point. You must need to be triggered. You got to be shaken up. You got to be, again, molted down. You got to be that steel that's got to be molted down into a new form. It's going to hurt. I'm sorry. That's just like a Band-Aid. When I take it off, it's going to hurt. Now, which way you want me to do it? You want me to do it the fast way, or you want me to do it the slow way? This all at once? Or do you want me to go, We know how we do the Band-Aid. You're like, heck. And you breathe, and you do it again. And then you breathe, Oh, it got my hair. And then you breathe again, and you ride with somebody to say, shh. You're like, that's one time you have to take one deep breath, and one time you have to just go ahead and get rid of it. It's time to take the Band-Aids off again. But understanding and allowing them to do that, so that, again, those of you all that stuck, I keep talking to you all, because I feel like it's some of y'all, it's like I seen in the last one, I previewed my own video. You right there on that edge, and you scared. Jump, okay? My thing is, it's better that you do the Band-Aid off at once than you going off. That's not going to work, okay? Staying in it is not going to make any better. You don't want to get to the point that you get more deeper in it, you're digging your holes, your feet into it, and they show them like quicksand, and kind of like that is kind of showing me too, that you get your feet more digged into it, more clamped into it, and you find yourself going into it like quicksand. It's no longer able to sustain you anymore. So you've got to get to the point that you really truly saying, okay, we jumping now. Do you want to really start off the new year in this? I understand, however, how the economy, how things are looking on the outside. But I told you in some of my I dream of Twin Flame series, that spirits say they building it regardless. They're ready for you. And I said, who was the builders, after I watched it again? And I said, okay, those builders that we're doing, that's like your spiritual team, your guidance team, and say that I am here. Don't forget also that your ancestors too, because your ancestors, a lot of us are here. This is a hodgepodge of a lot. Some of your ancestors are here that are standing behind you and saying, yes, you doing it for the team. Like Ronald Reagan used to say, do it for the Kipper. You doing it for your ancestors. You here to clear. They say, we didn't tell you to stay. put in that. Some of them said we have been years and years been doing the same thing that you're doing, and we're counting on you to set a new way of doing that, which is going to help to the other, your ascendants after you, or descendants, okay, after descendants after you, to be able to have such freedom. If you know that much is riding on you, and it's this again, you're coming there to change the way, the family way, or how even beyond that the males handle things and how females handle things, and how it's a ripple effect. You would take a little bit more pride in what you're doing. Yes, Divine Sunshine is auntie mode, because you know I snap and crack on you all. You would be in more things than saying, oh my God, I'm more serious. See, because you know a lot of times when you got other people that's dependent, that's why I am such a big thing about accountability. When you know you got somebody else counting on you, you get your behind into gear, and you put the flames to the fire will get you to moving to your feet. But when you just doing yourself, well, you know, I get around to it when I get around, because ain't nobody waiting on me. And so, you know, when I'm ready to get one. But if you got somebody talking about, okay, now when it's going to be finished? Okay, your ancestors say, I'm looking at you. We ready to get out of this. We ready for, again, you're here to change the course of directions for the Browns. We're looking for you to change that way. So when you come, it ain't no more like that. Okay, so let's take for instance again, like if you all know Medea and Cora and the Browns. And it's Medea, you know, she a hot mess. She was a hooker. She worked back in the day. She was when she was a hooker, she worked the pole. Okay, she was doing all that stuff. Yes, she was. She said she was a prostitute. Okay, be quiet. Okay, you go on. Then you got Mr. Brown. He's supposed to be an innocent little bystander. She got him one night. The story has twisted so many times. He was drunk. He took advantage of, and they had Cora. Now Cora came along again. Is to change the course of both of their actions. Medea's a hot mess. She's still going to be a hot mess. She ain't going to change. And again, Mr. Brown is still, poor little Miss Brown is just out there. This is ignorance is a poster child for ignorance is bliss. Okay, so my thing is, between those two there, she's coming bringing new breed. She tell you every minute, I'm a Christian. I will believe in doing what's right, you know, even if it makes me be wrong. This is total polar opposite. She's know what's going on. She's educated. She's the total opposite of a new breed of what's going on with those two. I'm just using them as an example of those of you. If you don't watch a Medea series or a movie or whatever, you know what's going on with that. Here it is. She's setting something new. She's like, nah, I'm not going to do the same thing as Medea did. And no, I'm not going to do the same thing as Mr. Brown. I am a better. That goes back to what Jesus Christ. Greater things you would do than I. Okay, so you're always thinking about upgrading. So if you think from that perspective, saying, okay, let me look at my thing, because some of you all, let's be honest, like I said, I started and I forgot to start off my thing, saying I'm no angel. And a lot of things that I know in my family and things that they have done, they have shown that they ain't no angels either. So my thing is that how can you come in with a different thing? If you know that your thing is generations of poverty or generations of abuse or generations of something, then you know that when you came in that family, look at it, you know what your family flaws are. What is it within you that you have came to create something different? What is it that you are pussyfooting around? That's give me about that. That's wording. What are you pussyfooting around that you really should be putting the feet to the fire to say, you know what, I came here. I am a change agent for my family. And let me start doing way better than what I had been doing at the beginning, because I'm seeing people are counting on me. My generations before me and after me is counting on me. Because I think a lot of us, we're taking it like we're using the excuse, well, I'm here for the children. I'm doing this because I came and all this stuff. And I have sent you all boo-hoos of videos here, back-to-back dreaming. Again, I haven't been losing sleep, so. But, when I wake up, I am energized afterwards. So I thank God for that. And giving you boo-hoos of things to telling you that they're saying it's coming. It's time to change. And I'm in agreement with the young lady. I know, and I know within myself in talking. You talk to your DM, those of you out that's in communication, it's a shift. It's a total change with them. And then you have to talk to yourself to get ready and change with them as far as what they're new accepting. You know, and a lot of times, sometimes that old conversation wants to talk about, this too good to be true. I don't know about this because, you know, why he acting nice to me. And he talking to me. He wants something. Da, da, da. And we just got there. And I told you before, and a lot of people wrote me down at the bottom, and they said in the comments, saying that ain't me. I'm ready. Keep on seeing somebody sitting over there. Saying I'm ready. Okay, well, hey, if you're ready, beautiful. But I'm telling you, I can feel in my shundo, in my spirit, it's a lot of them that they ain't ready, and they still not ready. It will blow they freaking mind. I'm gonna keep it nice, because they say about me and the thing. And since I'm doing this with the monetization, again, it will blow they freaking mind. If you would see the new way they are interacting, you would sit up there and say, I don't know to rather to believe this. You looking around for Ashton Kutcher, or somebody say, or Nick Cannon. I got punked, right? Y'all is punked. Y'all got the video looking on me. I know somebody gonna put out, yeah, you punked. This ain't the DM. And the DM's like, no, ain't nobody gonna come out the bushes and say you punked. Ain't no, this is it. This is how I am now. Being in that situation. They had to be in that situation. They had to be, again, like the blacksmith sword says, they got to pound them and get them ready. For what? This sacred relationship. Because the way they were showing up then, it could not sustain. You have to remind yourself, what they doing right now has nothing to do with you. That's what helps me to get through it. This don't have nothing to do with me. Your choice is where you decide to be at this moment in time. It has nothing to do with me. I should not take it personally, because you're still caught up in that family dynamic, that family belief in that system. All that I can do is to hope and pray that one day you'll wake up and something about you say, hey, this ain't working. I don't know how I set it up for this mess, or with this person in this situation, on this job, doing these things with this person, because this right here, this ain't gonna make it. I mean, like, if some kind of way, if this is my reason why I came back down to earth and I came back for this, something's got to, this ain't gonna work. This is not gonna work. And especially the way things look like we heading towards what the people say the end of days, or whatever that's going on here. When it comes down to something like crunch time, and if things is gonna get worse, I sure in the heck don't want this person to be right here, to be riding and dying with me till the end. Now that's the way I would be thinking. Now I gotta find a way to get out of this. This ain't, at times it's gonna continue to be like this, and then I got to deal with you when I get home, and we argue and we going back and forth like this, and me gotta watch my tongue and try to make nicey because you psychologically off in this situation. I don't know when you're gonna go off on my behind. And then, I mean, I've heard this in so many stories from so many people that have counseled and have been clients about that. And you know, you got to get to the point to say, I don't want this. And this is showing, if somebody tell me tomorrow is the last day, would I want to be stuck into this? And if your answer is no, then guess what? You should be making your exit. I've been said that. You should be making your exit strategy. You should be starting to remove yourself silently, some kind of way, out of that situation. They say, I'm not going to invest any more energy, no more time into this. I will be nice to you because, again, I don't want to create any more hard lessons for me. I don't want the universal laws to come and get me on this stuff. But right now, all that I'm doing is out of just respect. But I don't owe you anything else after this. Because again, like I said, if this is the end of the day, end of the world, as you know it, will you be saying, and I feel fine? And you know, you ending like that. We don't want to end with no regrets. I already said that. We don't want to end with no regrets. So this time you do whatever it is, because we don't know what's going on right now with this times and what's being shown to us and what's going to happen next. But what we do know is some things that we can control. We can control the what? The now and the present. Okay? All right then. This is kind of like a fireside check again. But again, Understand. Know the difference. This is a sacred relationship. This ain't no role, no soulmate. And you cannot treat it like it's like the rest. So if it's got to be like that, that means anything that you know what they say is worth having and that you know is the truest and the highest form of it, guess what? It's going to take you some skills and some time to attain it. Okay? You're gonna have to take your time doing that. That's any kind of thing. Luxury car, luxury place. You had to work your way through the ranks in your job, or you had to really, you ain't heard none of these ones that they just got passed on to you, unless that's a whole different thing. And they still, in order, even when they give it to you, you still got to find a way to kind of maintain it. So again, everything comes with what? Work, period. And that's half of our problem. Is we are now in this millennium, living in this according to the millennium laws there, that everything gets instantly, and that's just not it. And I think some of that stuff is again about either our spiritual beings, as we are used to, that we instantly manifest things like that. And some things is not for that. Some things has got to take some time. It's got some other things that's got to be intervened. It's some other things, some other moving parts have to play a part of it. So no, it's not going to be Mary Sue. It's not going to be no instantaneous thing like that. Not when it's that special and unique. It takes some time. Okay? Get that if you don't get nothing else. It takes some time. All right, then, as always, stay uplifted, stay motivated, stay ascending. Namaste, Namago. Love you.